Luke Thompson, who is another three-star safety committed to Tennessee on Saturday. Looks like he is a legacy as well. Both his parents ran track at Tennessee, and his grandfather, I believe, played wide receiver in the 1970s here at Tennessee. And unlike KJ McLean, this guy is from an area that Jordan and I know very well. In fact, he plays for a high school that was a rival with the schools that Jordan and I went to. That is Franklin High School, of course. So, Jordan, your initial thoughts on Luke Thompson?
Well, it was interesting finding out that he went to Franklin High School, a school that I did not have strong love for
No.
when I was there. Quite frankly, they were the team that I disliked the most. But at the end of the day, like, you just want a good player to come to your school. It doesn't matter what high school or what background or whatever. You just want a good player to come by. And I think it's really cool that he's a legacy guy because we've seen a lot of Tennessee legacies come through here, like Todd Kelly Jr. or Nigel Warrior, like, some guys that were fun to watch. Even Eric Berry was a legacy player. So, I mean, it's really cool to have another kid of like Evolve for Life come back and wear the orange again. I mean, it's always nice seeing that, and hopefully that's a trend that continues for a long time, and it has been. But hopefully that trend continues.
Yeah. So, objective. I'm not saying this because I look at just the schools here in Williamson County. And usually like it's Independence or Ravenwood or one of those schools, maybe Summit every now and again. You'll have like one guy that really stands out. For the most part in Williamson County, though, you get good all around teams, but not a ton of standout players. And I guess Centennial has in a couple cases here lately with Tyrell Dodson and Emmanuel Hall, but again, just not a ton of guys that really stand out to you. But looking at his tape, first of all, he is a track runner, and that is obvious when you watch him play in his highlight reel. He's looks like he's got some twitch to him, which is something you like to see in your safeties. They play him in all three phases of the game too, not just safety. They play him at wide receiver and also at punt returner as well. I noticed. And then another thing too that jumps out to me. And I could be reading too far into this, but it may just kind of tell you what kind of a guy and teammate Luke Thompson is. There were at least 3 or 4 instances in that highlight reel where the guy is posting himself throwing blocks on interception and punt returns, which is that's pretty cool to me. First off, and I think too, like, maybe he doesn't make the field as a safety here at Tennessee, and I'm not at all saying this is what he'll end up doing. But I wonder if he's one of those guys that you could potentially see go the, just like the special teamer route, if you will, because there's a way to do that in the NFL. Not very many guys do it, but we've seen it. We've seen it here at Tennessee with Jalen Reeves-Maybin. But you've had other guys. Is it Matthew Slater that played for the Patriots forever that was just a special teamer as a receiver? Okay, so he's one. Brandon Bolden, the running back that went to Ole Miss, had a decent career at Ole Miss, just played for some pretty bad teams. But he was in the league for, a decade as a special teamer? So, I mean, there's plenty of room for guys to make it to the league as like gunners or other players on special teams, like being part of the shield in front of the punter and whatnot. So, maybe that's something he can do as well for this team. And again, if he's playing in all three phases of the game and he's throwing blocks in his highlight reels, then I would say this is a dude that just comes up to the coach and says, hey, I'll do anything I can to get on the field. You can use me however you'd like to use me. And I think that's pretty special, a very admirable quality.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a great thing to have for a player for sure. And I feel like a lot of times, people that find success in special teams, like they may not have been talented enough to necessarily like play offense or defense, but that doesn't mean that they're not talented players in general. I feel like a lot of times special teams players are just the ones that try to do everything right, and they don't really care as much about like maybe their personal statistics or making that one-handed catch or anything like that. They just want to win. And I think it's pretty cool that he included him blocking in there in his highlights, because that's something he didn't have to show. But I mean, like, it also, I feel like in a way it shows like how much he wants to play football as well, like just trying to put as much on his highlight tape as possible so he looks valuable to these colleges and everything. So I think it's great seeing that stuff from him. And I mean, he could probably be a key player to Tennessee in the future. I mean, whether it's offense, defense, or special teams, I definitely like seeing that from, especially from a young player too.